Well, School District of Indian River County, this is your Superintendent, Dr. Moore, here with a summer edition of Get More Connected. And today's topic is finally a conversation regarding academic outcomes for the 23-24 school year. The state has finally given us some data. We've been working hard all year. And today, as we get ready to celebrate the 4th of July, we're going to share some fireworks with you. Those fireworks is our data outcomes for this past school year. So let's jump right into it. Now, to acclimate you with the screen, Indian River County will be the deep blue color. The best way to look and find Indian River County, typically on the left-hand side of the screen, the 23-24 outcome, we're always going to be on top. And what that means is that we have absolutely, in comparison to surrounding counties, outperformed those counties. So if you look at this graph in the year 2018-19, this is ELA reading for grades 3 through 10. We went from 55, 18-19 before the pandemic to a Treasure Coast best of 57. Significant improvement from 22-23 to 23-24, a 6 percentage point improvement. Absolutely outstanding. Now, when you look at state rankings, you'll see, once again, we are the deep blue. We were 31 in 18-19, and now we are 14. So significant improvement over the last 4 years. And when you look at the other districts, you'll see very flat. They were typically where they were 4 years ago. So something different in ELA is happening here in the School District of Indian River County. Now jumping over to math assessments. This is looking at math, grades 3 through 8. Once again, you'll see Indian River County is in 23-24, a final outcome of 3 and above, 60%, which is the top on the Treasure Coast. We started at 57. And you'll see the other surrounding counties, similar growth, but not at the high rate that we ended at 60%. And once again, when you look at overall state rankings, you can see School District of Indian River County, continual growth from year to year, going from 36 to 12. That's 12 of 67 districts, moving from 38. Continuous growth, absolutely continued success in ELA and math across the board. Now, when you're looking at our 5th grade state assessments for math, you can see we started at 53 in 18-19, slight dip in 21-22, and then continued growth for the last 2 years, moving all the way up to 65. Once again, top on the Treasure Coast, significant growth over the last 3 years. Way to go, 5th grade students and 5th grade teachers. Then you look at state rankings. Indian River County was 35 in 18-19. And look at that rate of improvement all the way to number 5 in the state of Florida, where other districts, very similar results, with St. Lucie making some progress this year. Way to go, St. Lucie, but not nearly as much as Indian River County. Now you're looking at 8th grade science, those middle school years. And you can see we were 49 of 67 districts in the year 18-19. And we were able to move, 49 percentage points. We were able to move that to 53. So progress there as well. And that 53% is the highest, once again, on the Treasure Coast. And you see that growth from 50 to 53 from last year to the year 23-24 that we just finished. Looking at state rankings, once again, you'll see Indian River County was 38 of 67 districts, and now we are 16, which is tops on the Treasure Coast. So once again, significant improvement within all content areas. This is civics, where we maintained a 67 from last year to this year. There's some opportunities for improvement here. We are not the first on the Treasure Coast here. We're actually the second, but Martin County, don't get used to that. We're going to make sure we change that number next school year. And then looking at our state ranking, we were 41 of 67 in 18-19, so significant improvement in state ranking, but number of students scoring at 3 or above. Civics, we're going to take care of that, don't you worry. U.S. history, once again, you can see in 18-19, we were at 60, we were at 64%, moving all the way up to 72, which is significantly above all surrounding districts. And once again, you'll see a trend of continuing to move up in the percent of students scoring at proficient, and that yields a state ranking of 11, from 40 to 11. Once again, just significant progress, continuing to excel across the board. And now we're going to transition over to some of our race outcomes, and these slides specifically look at outcomes for Black, Hispanic, and white students. And we always talk about closing the achievement gap. So if you looked at this slide, on the top part of the slide, you will see in 1819, our white students were 64% of our students in grades 3 through 10, scoring above 3 or above. And then 23-24, 67%. That's a 3 percentage point improvement. And then you look at our Black students, you see 35% in 1819, moving that number to 41, which is a 6 percentage improvement. So what you see is our Black students improving by 6 percentage points, our white students improving by 3 percentage points. That's exactly what you want to see in terms of closing the gap. Now, in comparison to the state, which is the bottom part of the screen, you can see the state in 1819 was 38, which was better than us back in 1819. We were only at 35. The state for Black students grew to 40 last school year, where we outperformed them at 41. So once again, outperforming the state both in Black, Hispanic, and white performance, which is absolutely what we want to see in ELA. Moving to ELA third grade. In third grade, you could see our white students in 1819 were at 70% and improved 1 percentage point last school year to 71%. And then you look at our Black students scoring 3 or above, went from 39 all the way to 54. That is a 15 percentage point improvement and a reduction of the gap by 14 percentage points, which is absolutely outstanding. Hispanic students, once again, significant improvement, going from 50% in 1819 all the way to 57. And you see a similar trend in looking at third grade, where the state for Black students was at 40% above us in 1819. We were at 39. And now they are at 42, significantly below us because we were at 54. So significant improvements, and the same holds true for Hispanic. They were above us in 1819 at 54 and actually decreased to 50, where our district for Hispanic actually improved from 50 to 57. So across the board in ELA, whether it's third grade or 3 through 10, you're seeing significant progress. Then when you look at math combined, so this is math looking at all of the assessed areas within math, you can see our school district white students was at 66, improved to 69 over the course of this time period, where Black students was at 35 and improved to 44. That's significant improvement and a reduction of the gap of 6 percentage points white between Black. And then once again, 52 for Hispanic students in 1819, and then increased to 54 last school year. And once again, a similar trend when you look at the state. The state was at 40% in 1819, outperforming us, only to fast forward a few years where they moved to 40, and now we are at 44% of our Black students scoring at 3 or above, outpacing the state. So bucking the trend from the state, outperforming the state, closing the gap at a much quicker rate. And this is social studies, our last slide in this specific area. And you'll see our white students was at 76 to 78 over the course of the last several years, but significant improvement of our Black students and Hispanic students, Black going from 48 to 56, and then Hispanic going from 60 to 63. And then you look at the white-Black gap is the reduction of 6. And then in comparison to the state, once again, very similar situation. The state was outperforming us in 1819. Fast forward a few years to the outcomes that we just realized. They were at 55, so we exceeded them at 56 once again. So regardless of the content area that you are looking at, you're seeing significant improvement across the board. In fact, when you look at our outcomes overall, and you look historically over time, how has the district been doing? In ELA grades 3 through 10, that is the highest percent of students that's scoring at 3 or above over the last 9 years. In third grade, although we were 63 last year and 63 again this year, that is the highest score that we've had in the last 10 years. When you look at algebra or math, which is grades 3 through 8, algebra and geometry, highest scores, matching the highest scores over the last 12 years. Algebra individually, highest score over the last 4 years. Geometry, highest score over the last 9 years. Science in 5th grade, highest scores over the last 13 years. In 8th grade, once again, 13 years. We haven't seen outcomes like this. Biology is the highest since FDOE started assessing science, which is 11 years, and U.S. history, highest over the last 8 school years. So just absolutely significant improvement. We are bucking the trend. Our performance continues to outpace surrounding districts and outpacing the state. So we're very, very excited about these outcomes. Now, the question you naturally have is, well, what's the district grade going to be? What are the school grades going to be? And the answer I have is, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. The state has not released what cut scores are going to be, so they're in the process now of determining what are the thresholds for school grades. So they're going to be more rigorous than they were in previous years. So what does that mean? A that you earned last year, you're going to have to achieve more and receive more points in order to receive an A for a school or the district. That information hasn't been released yet, but based on what we're seeing here, we should celebrate the impact collectively that we have had as a community. Our goal as a school district is to provide the highest quality education for our students, for our community possible. And when you look at what's happening here in the school district of Indian River County and compare us to whoever you want, you see things are happening in an absolutely outstanding way in terms of the growth and improvement of our students in our community, and we all should be proud. We also want to take this time to remind all of our parents and students who are watching, although I can't imagine students are actually watching this, that it is summertime, but as we walk into school next year, we will have fully enforced dress codes in place. On the screen now are the dress codes. It will be observed each and every single morning to ensure that students are in compliance with this dress code. I would encourage all parents prior to buying one stitch of clothing to review this documentation and make sure we're not buying or purchasing anything that is not in compliance with this dress code. We have a very high expectation for what's taking place in our classrooms. We want to make sure students are prepared, ready to focus, and are dressed appropriately. Also, it's the July 29th through August 11th. That is the opportunity for the sales tax holiday. So make sure you mark your calendars and buy the appropriate clothing at that time. The entire month of July, today is the 2nd. In the great state of Florida, so many opportunities to have sales tax-free experiences for you and the family, whether it's fishing, camping, outdoor supplies, boating, activities, just so much to do. So take advantage of those opportunities. Once again, summer meals. I know this is on the screen now. There's a number of different locations. We are out serving our community. Be there, get some food on us. It is free. You can engage. It is great food. I've actually had some. You got to make sure that you're there. And that's our presentation. So once again, congratulations, Indian River County, on such an absolutely great outcomes. And each and every single one of you should be proud. We're looking forward to enjoying the rest of the summer and welcoming you back as we prepare to greet you in the fall. Thank you, and have a great day.